Today we are going to discuss few multiple choice questions and tell how students can solve these questions. So the question is, what were most people traveling for in early days? You are not going to look at the options first. You will go to the paragraph and check. There are many reasons why individuals have traveled beyond their own societies. Here they are talking about the reasons. Some travelers may have simply desired to satisfy curiosity about larger world. Until recent times, however, travelers did start their journey for reasons other than more curiosity. While the traveler's account gave much valuable information on these foreign lands and provide a window for understanding of local culture and history, they are also a mirror to travelers themselves. So the question is, what were most people traveling for in early days? So the question is, what were most people traveling for in the early days? Studying their own culture? No. You can exclude this. Study for business? No. They have not mentioned in these lines. Knowing other people and places better? Yes. This is the answer. Writing travel books? No. This is not the answer. Because in the first paragraph, they are not talking about writing books, but they are mentioning why travelers travel. The next question is, why did the author say writing travel books is also a mirror for travelers themselves? If you remember, we have just read about the mirror. So we know the location. Now we just have to read the question and the information. Why did the author say writing travel books is also a mirror for travelers themselves? The reason is here. While the travelers' accounts give much valuable information on these foreign lands and provide a window for understanding of local cultures and histories, they are also a mirror to the travelers themselves. For these accounts help them to have a better understanding of themselves. Means this is for them. So the answer will be, travelers record their own experience? No. Travelers reflect upon their own society and life? Yes, it can be. Because it increases knowledge of foreign land? No. Because it is related to the development of human society? No. When you exclude others, the answer is clear. Because travelers reflect upon their own society and life. Because they have mentioned they are also a mirror to travelers themselves. For these accounts help them to have better understanding of themselves. Now let's go to the next question. The next question is, why were the imperial rulers especially interested in these travel stories? Why were the imperial rulers especially interested in these travel stories? So your keyword is imperial rulers. So you will go to the passage. If you are doing scanning and skimming, you will come to know where they are talking about imperial. Here if we see they are talking about after the formation of large imperial states in classical world, travel accounts emerged as a prominent literary genre in many lands, and they held especially strong appeal for rulers desiring useful knowledge about their realms. That means the answer is here, because they are talking about rulers as well as imperial states. Reading travel stories was a popular pastime? No. The accounts are often truthful rather than fictional. It is not mentioned. Travel books played an important role in literature? Not at all. They are not talking about literature here. They desired knowledge of their empire. Why this is the answer? Because it is mentioned that they held a especially strong appeal for rulers desiring useful knowledge about their realms. That means they wanted to know about their empire. Question is, who were the largest group to record their spiritual trips during post-classical era? Who means here we are going to talk about people. We are not going to look at the option. We will just read the stem. Who were the largest group to record their spiritual trip during the post-classical era? So we will see the passage. We will scan the passage again. We will see they are talking about this thing during the post-classical era. So this is the right location of this question. During the post-classical era, and trade and pilgrimage emerged as major incentives of world to foreign land, Muslim merchants sought trading opportunities through much of Eastern Hemisphere. They described land people, commercial products of Indian Ocean basin from East Africa to Indonesia. They supplied the first written accounts of societies in sub-Saharan West Africa. While merchants set out in search of trade and profit, Muslims travelled as pilgrims to Mecca to make their Hajj and visit holy sites of Islam. Since the Prophet Muhammad's original pilgrimage to Mecca, untold, millions of Muslims have followed his example and thousands of Hajj accounts have related their experiences. So if we see, they are talking about millions of Muslims go to Mecca. East Asian travelers were not quite so prominent as Muslims. Means now we are going to exclude the others they are talking about. But they too followed many of highways and sea lanes. Chinese merchants frequently visited this country. And then they are talking about Buddhists. Thousands of Chinese Buddhists traveled to India to study with Buddhist writings. Here they are talking about Chinese Buddhists traveled to India to study with Buddhist teachers, collected sacred texts, written accounts recorded for the experience of many pilgrims. Here if we see the options, Muslim traders, yes, they are talking about that, but number was not large. Muslim pilgrims, yes, their number was large because million Muslims are talking about. Chinese Buddhists, yes, there were thousands of Chinese Buddhists, but not largest group. Then Indian Buddhist teachers, they are talking about Indian Buddhist teachers, but they are not talking about their number. So the answer is clear cut. The answer is Muslim pilgrims. Because they are talking millions of Muslims have followed his example. Thousands of Hajj accounts have related their experiences. So the largest group is Muslim pilgrims. Now let's go to the next question. During the early modern era, a large number of travel books were published too. Here they are talking about early modern era. Earlier they were talking about old era, classical era. Large number of travel books were published too. The passage is about travel books. So we will now see the location. The answer will, now we are going to scan. Where can be the answer? Here they are talking about medieval. Here they are talking about again the old classical times. Here they are talking about 19th century. It can be here as well. So we will quickly go through this passage, scan that, and we will find the answer. First, understand the question. During the early modern era, large number of books were published too. What was the purpose? Here they are talking about European travelers made this, and mid-century they are talking about. So the answer will be in the next passage, where they are talking about with the development of inexpensive, reliable means of mass transport, the 20th century witnessed explosions both in frequency of long distance travel and volume of travel writing. That means the location is this. With a great deal of travel took place for reasons of business, administration, diplomacy, pilgrimage, missionary work. As in ages past, increasingly effective modes of mass transport made it possible for new kinds of travel to flourish. The most distinctive of them was mass tourism, which emerged as a major form of consumption of individuals living in the world's wealthy societies. Tourism enabled the consumer to get away from home to see the sights in Rome, take a cruise through Caribbean, walk the Great Wall of China, visit some wineries in Bordeaux, or go on safari in Kenya. A peculiar variant of travel account arose to meet the needs of these tourists? So the answer is here. The early modern era, large number of travel books were published to meet the public interest, explore new business opportunities, encourage trips, record the larger world. If we see, the answer is meet the public interest, because here they are talking about travel account arose to meet the needs of these tourists. Tourists are the people. So the answer is A. Now 32. What is the main theme of passage? If we see, passage is about travel books. It's clear. So here we can see the option: production of travel books, literary status of travel books, history significance of travel books, the development of travel books. Now if we see all about that there are many reasons why they travel, then they're talking about how that travel writing started. They're talking about history, but the whole passage is not talking about that. Then they are relating these travel books to the religious travel. Then they are talking about post-classical era, how pilgrims were writing and visiting places. Then in Muslim, Chinese people dominated travel and travel writing in classical times. They are talking about travel books, but in different eras. Then about 19th century. Then they are talking about 20th century. So the answer cannot be production of travel books. Literary status, no, big no, because the whole passage is not talking about, though they are talking about these things as well, but in one or two para, not in the whole para passage. The historical significance of travel books, no, they are talking about history, religion, both, but not in the whole passage. So the answer will be the development of travel books. How from the old era to post-classical era to modern century, how the travel books have developed. So the answer will be D. So these are the multiple choice questions which we have solved. In this way, you can easily find the answers. Thank you.